Skibidi toilet has been a trend in YouTube for a while. Love it or hate it, but I am not a big fan of Skibidi toilet community. If you didn't know, they're mostly toilets with chanting heads sticking out of their bowls. So if you haven't seen this series yet, go watch it. So, you may ask that BFDI and Skibidi toilets are different shows. BFDI is an animated 2D animation about multiple characters in a competition, battling for a prize, while Skibidi Toilet is simply about singing toilets versus cameraman. But what if we combine the art style from BFDI and the plot of Skibidi Toilet? Well, speaking of which, you get this absolute monstrosity. Now there is one secret recipe that would make this show unique if it was a show. Superpowers! Yeah, you saw the thumbnail. Superpowers. What if Skibidi Firey breathes fire like a dragon? What if Loser shoots laser eyes just like the boss from the iconic series? What if Pillow puts her enemies into a deep sleep? Should the speakerman like the announcer become protagonist? Could Robody handle being a titan himself? Well, this is the video you've been waiting for. Wait! Before we start the video, I just wanna let you know that it took me days to create this video. So please, if you wanna see more content like this, hit the like and subscribe. And I'll make sure that there's a second part. If we reach 2.5k likes, yeah, that's the goal. And it will be generally appreciated. Shout out to these two men, cause without them, I won't be able to make the video. Okay, let me explain about the superpower thing deeply before we actually start this thingamajig, so you viewer won't be confused as I am. There are two different stats for the Skibidi objects. Yeah, I'll name it Skibidi objects for this video. Now the two stats are going to be toughness and special ability. They make the series easier and harder in some ways. A Skibidi object have 9 different toughness levels, which they vary from fragile being the weakest, average, solid, protected, dense, hardened, machined, great, and undying. Undying is the strongest on the toughness category. Oh, and by the way, if you want to know where I got this idea, I came up with a toughness category from previously too. Thanks EA. In alphabetical order, let's start with 8-Ball. 8-Ball is a contestant on BFB and is on a team A better name than that. Fun fact, his favorite is the number 8. He became a contrarian to Golfball, and on the contrary, he was eliminated on the later episodes. So, what is his toughness?
A billiard ball is mostly made of resin. Resin is a ceramic which is basically a compound.
So, what's the final answer? Dense. Plus, I'm impressed that he has strong heat. I mean, just look at this. Bro's about to be a new announcer crusher. Now, 8-Ball's special ability is that he would release toxic fumes upon death. Next up is Balloony. Balloony is made of latex, a stretchable rubber,
Even though he is not as weak as Bubble.
He is considered fragile. Now for the special abilities, on most parts of the BFB series, you can see Balloony jumping, just like how a real-life balloon works. So I gotta give Balloony an ability to be lofty. He can make extremely high jumps due to the lack of his weight. Editor's patch note 0.0.1 added 2 rocket launchers for Balloony, cause why not? Yeah, this is the final version of his design. Barf Bag. Now, Barf Bag appears to be a recycled paper bag that contains withdrawn human acids. Yeah, I know it's gross that she has a vomit carrying around places, but what's good about the paper is that it could secure the vomit properly, so I'ma give it an average. Now for the special ability, since Barf Bag has barf and the barf must have to do something, I'll consider that her barf bag leaves a vomit trail whenever she goes, and let's make her immobilized when she runs out of barf. Let's move on to the next. Basketball have grown so much protection on over her team members, mostly Grassy. Actually, so her toughness rate is going to be protected. For the abilities, Basketball is bouncy. It's a pretty stupid ability, like there's no kind of advantage about it when you place it aside physical combat. So what I'm gonna do is that whenever Basketball dies, it pops a deafening sound. Now for Belle. Belle appears to be a brass bell. Belle's main body is copperish brown and her shine is kind of yellow. She has a long black string that seems to be endlessly reach into the sky. So I gotta give Belle great out of 10. Cause, you know, she's great at all. Great toughness. Strongest so far in the toughness category, except that her weakness is the string, which I have an idea. On her special ability, she would swing on her speaker man and she would hit her enemies as hard as it could, just like a wrecking ball. Oh, and a fun fact, did you know Belle's string is attached to a toilet?
Oh my god. Oh, Black Hole. Oh my god, it's Black Hole with a toilet. And obviously I gotta give him Undying. He is way more powerful compared to a Brass Bell, but he has to start with average toughness, cause whenever he sucks something, he would just add toughness that ranges from average into Undying. He's too overpowered, but you know what's worse? He would be going to immune to lasers, TV men, and anything that touches him, and the only way to kill Black Holes by flushing him.
Talking? Huh? Oh, it's you.
Blocky is a half mischievous and a half chill person. He sometimes like to play pranks with other people. He's a wooden block, so its woodish material is not too thin and not too shabby, so I'm gonna give him protected instead of solid. He constantly picks on and kills various people whenever given the chance, like popping bubble, kicking Woody, throwing ice cube off a cliff, and extinguishing fire repeatedly. These attacks are often seen as pranks on his end, but they usually are at the expense of other people's well-being. So in my conclusion, I'm going to give Blocky some arms as his special ability, so he could do much damage in his surroundings as possible. Bomby appears to be a fuse bomb with a ground black grayish body and a beige fuse. So I'm gonna give it a dance on this boom boy. Ability, as he is a bomb, Bobby's fuse can be ignited by any sources of extreme heat and fire for him to explode, or would do so instantly the moment he touches them. Minecraft Creeper, yes sir! And yes, if he teams up with Firey, it's going to be a destructive evening of the Speakery Mans. Book, average. Ability, this is what I found in the wiki. Now observe on the following toes. Low-level reality warping. By writing and rewriting a definition of one's book page, the new definition becomes factual. I mean, the wiki gave a nice idea, but it couldn't help with a series of my own. So what I came up is that it's the only toilet that can communicate with the speaker man and hand out infos like a stored USB. So basically, he could just talk. Bummer.
Honestly guys, right now I wanna smash everything.
Next is Bottle. She appears to be a glass bottle like in real life. Bottle's main body is clear while her shine is white, so I'm going to place her in the fragile category for obvious reasons. Now for the ability. Remembered on BFB 16 when 2 dumped a clump of liquid lava inside Bottle? That hurt so bad. So since I feel bad for 2 hurting Bottle, how about I'll make him feel better for once? Now whenever the speaker shoots lasers, Bottle will absorb it and generates a plasma ball enough to one-shot her enemy. Bracelety. Bracelety appears to be a silicone bracelet, maybe a solid, which is not so tough I guess. She holds a poster sign rooting for Ice Cube most of the time, and that could be used as a weapon. It could deal great damage to speakermen that are made of soft materials like cheese orb. And for fun, Bracelety could use the poster as a durable skateboard. Lastly, I wanna add a little funny detail. Whenever Bracelety encounters Icy, she would just take her and run away. Bubble. She seems to be a clumsy character on BFDI and has a speech issue, but she never fails to deliver.
Huh?
After 9 months of thinking, I finally thought Bubble easily pops, so it's fragile. Bubble is a spherical soap bubble, and for a bubble toilet, she leaves a slippery surface. I couldn't come up with a better idea for Bubble. Cake. Cake is a slice of chocolate fudge cake with a whole meringue puff on top and the light coral icing on the rim. So what fits her the best is average. Special ability. There isn't any specialty going around her, but the power I could give her is that she could go invisible, just like her dad. Clock. He appears in BFB as a bluish-gray modern wall clock. His hands can make 1 revolution a minute, so he's considered machine, since he's a modern household device. Special ability. His special ability is slowing down time by spinning uncontrollably, just like on episode 54 on screen. TV woman got hit by a glitch toilet and she started to spin uncontrollably. And to be honest, I like this design a lot. Now let's head over to Cloudy. One of the few contestants that have the ability to fly. Average. Oh, and a fun fact. Did you know clouds could hold millions of gallons of water? Now, let's cut back to the chase. There are a few special abilities. I wanted to add on to him, like he could swim lightning toilet when provoked. Secondly, he could camouflage onto patch of clouds. And that's all fit. Coiny. He's a metal coin and he's not a penny. Hardened. His abilities requires nickel and creates a portal that shoots out a lot of money. Too bad that doesn't happen in real life. David.
David is a stick figure that looks like it was drawn by a 5-year-old, even though the creators were 14 at the time. This fine chap would stick out like a sore thumb for me, and plus, he's weird. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be night. He's an average person. David is also antisocial, often refuses to follow the directions of others, and immediately shouts his catchphrase whenever greeted with conflict.
David, for some reason, 39 people voted exclusively for you.
So what? I turn him into a parasite, of course. He clings onto the enemies using his limbs and could be used to mind control its victims because the world doesn't go in his way of perspective. Yum, cherry filling. Cause next up is Donut. Donut appears to be an unglazed plain donut, solid. His weapon is a cherry, a delicious food that could be thrown to stall Donut's enemies. I mean, who doesn't love cherries, you know? Dora. Oh great. Now the speakermen are going to deal with another parasite, and it's a bigger one. Solid. Parasite Dora toilet could only infect titans due to its certain use, which there's been only one contestant that starts with E, which is Eggy. Eggy toilet is a fragile toilet. Now for the ability, if the speakerman managed to destroy Eggy, it hatches a contestant. Now it could be anything that ranges to a fragile toilet to a great ones. Skibidi objects comes in different sizes, in which this includes Eggy too.
Just got this random game and realized it has Skibidi.
Fanny. Now Fanny is a malicious and a cynical character who is keen to have a hatred towards and almost everyone and everything, dude.
But what the hell, what?
This modern fan right here is a mechanical. Her ability could be identified easily, which is Wind knockback. Fanny uses her rotary propellers to blow away a group of enemies in front of people, which, given to her, it's a cool power. Let's move on to the next one. So far, we have 10 more Skibidi objects to transform, in which the following I'm gonna make a part 2 because this video is just gonna be much longer. Now, on to the next one, but this time, I'll be right back and say hello to my replacement.
Yeah!
Skibidi Firey Toilet! Being the most iconic character in the series, Firey appears to be a flame, and personally, I have to rank him average because of Firey Jr., and Firey Jr. is supposed to be fragile. He has a purpose from other units like igniting Bomby as example, and becomes Firey Jr. if health is greatly depleted. Let's skip over Firey Jr. because his stats were already mentioned. Flower! Now, Flower Toilet appears to be a sassy yellow flower with pink petals. Her torso is attached onto a toilet. Average category for her. What I've noticed to her is that she has a pretty great instinct, which the time I noticed was on pre-split BFB. So let's make her detect enemies nearby. Talk about the new flower man in town. Foldy? Since she is folded on TPOT 1, when Rocky barf onto her face, you can see Foldy fighting against the pressure of air. She can fly, but she can glide. The paper can be used as a weapon to decapitate her enemies. Same as how a glider works, and only slices through the metal ones. I mean the non-metal ones. Fries! Oh my god! Oh, that's actually me! First appears in BFDI as a contestant. He has a cardboard container that could hold 6 fried twice sliced potato sticks, commonly known as French fries. So I'll give him protected because he's a base character. Special ability. He gives out 6 fries to a maximum of up to 6 Skibidi objects. Now this is my boy Coiny's dream. Whoever keeps playing the trumpet, can you please shut up? Gladly appreciated. This opponent is going to be a tough one to battle, so get ready your plastic goat heads. Oh no, watch out for this one, cause the next up is Gaty the Great, and he appears to be massive. Her special ability could magnetize whatever that gets close to him.
Magnet powers activate!
Whoa! Gelatin. Another black hole-like character that ranges from solid to undying. He is a lime-flavored gelatin. His overpowered ability is that he could eat its own allies to gain health, but his movement speed stagnates. Plus, he's immune to poison.
What? What?
Here he is, the nerd of many things. Golf balls are tough to break and so golf ball's going to be on the dance category. Being as the same category as 8 ball, his special ability is straightly similar to the scientist toilet in the Skibidi toilet verse, as he was the one behind the invention of the David and the Dora parasites.
What? What?
Grassy, being somewhat a dislike character, and TPOT for being, too cute. As you know, he holds a lot of strength itself, that's in TPOT 7 of course, average. But his abilities may have potential. Being Grassy, he is a grass, with a toilet of course, but don't come near him because he can manipulate a small patch of land.
What? What?
Ice cube. Well, it's not a perfectly aligned shaped cube. Appears to have a different strength depending on the temperature condition. This is probably the first character in which your super abilities are related to stuff. Okay, now pause the video. Did you read all of them? And lastly, Leafy.
Whoa, fries. Anyways, I'm back. Okay, now where are we? Leafy. Average. Leafy's a leaf with a green body. Consider her to be in a solid category, I guess. Her special ability is that she heals units nearby, but can't heal herself. Now that's some shit. If you've reached the end, thank you so much for watching the video. Remember, these are just my opinions of what stats certain Skibidi object works on the best for me. And if you wanted to suggest abilities on a certain contestant for part 2, comment it and I'll likely consider your idea. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and join the Discord. Sway na.
Snowball from BFDI?
What the heck?
Skibidi toilet, потому я Sigma. A creeper precious.